welcome back to my channel, and hello to those of you new here. Miss Corona canceled any hope of summer vacation plans, but I still wanted time to reset and take some time off. So instead, I'm doing a sewcation where I'll be spending time working on some fun thrift flips and items made from scratch. I'm starting off with two Aritzia inspired thrift flips. The first is this flower printed denim shirt. I bought this a month or so ago for about $3 and really loved the pattern. I'm hoping to transform it into something that looks like this aritzia top. I love the square neckline and the fitted fit. I think this design will be a great challenge for myself. The second top is thrifted from my closet. This cardigan I've had for a while now, like years probably. I don't know when, where, or how I got it. I love the fit, but don't seem to wear it very often. I think if I added some buttons to it, I'd wear it a lot more. I've seen the pearl button cardigan trend go around for a while now, so hoping to do something like this aritzia top. I normally stay away from knitted fabrics, but going to venture outside my comfort zone today. Let's get started.
Okay, I'm not actually sure what to call this top. I don't think it's actually denim. I think the right term is chambray, or maybe it's just a blue cotton button-up. I don't know. Anyways, I started off by drafting my pattern in muslin. I traced an existing dress I had and used this to get the princess seams right. Here's what my pattern looked like. I modified it until it fit me right and then transferred the pattern to a brown paper bag. Now that my pattern was done, it was time to deconstruct the shirt. I started by separating the front and back and then cutting off the sleeves. Then, to maximize fabric, I removed the darts from the front. Alright, here's where we're at with the deconstructed shirt. Then I started cutting out the patterns, and here lies a major mistake. Okay, so what you're supposed to do is not include the buttons in the pattern because they overlap and it's essentially lost fabric. So what I'm doing here is correct. But then I don't know what came over me and I didn't do that. And yeah, regrets. Don't do this. Here are the front pieces cut, and yeah, you can already tell the middle pieces are a bit skinny, but don't fret, keep watching, and you'll see how I fix it later. Next, I sewed all the front pieces together, right sides together, and then onto the back. This shirt already had darts in the back, so I took advantage of it as is. I folded the entire back in half and then laid my outer pattern where the dart began and then cut. Now I'm marking how low I want the back to be and cutting that out. The back will have a similar square cut like the front. And here's what the back looks like. Altogether, here's the whole shirt laid out. Now it's just a bunch of pinning and sewing to get all the pieces together. Next, I tried to clean up the seams a bit so they don't fray. The original shirt used French seams, but I wasn't ready for that level of skill yet. So instead, I did this fold over and straight stitch method. Could be better, could be worse. Once I got all the seams sewn, I tried it on and marked where I wanted to sew all the shoulder straps. I made sure to sew the seam at a slant to match the slope of my shoulder. Now that the shoulders are sewn, I could begin attaching the sleeves. This took a bit of maneuvering as the armholes were not the exact same size to begin with. It's really important here that the two sides of fabric lie flat together and don't bunch up. I sewed the sleeves on, and here's where we're at. Okay, so here's my attempt to fix the front where I cut the pieces too short. I made the darts in the back a bit smaller so I could free up more fabric. Moving on to the sleeves, I started pinning elastic to the shoulder seam. This is supposed to help the shirt from slipping and falling off. But boy, did I struggle. I have a lot of ideas of what went wrong, but at this point that didn't matter. I just needed to figure out how to fix it. After sewing and seam ripping and sewing and seam ripping again, I ended up adding a basting stitch to help scrunch up the fabric in the places it needed. Here I am a bit defeated. The sleeves are looking okay, but they still fall off my shoulder, and I knew I probably wouldn't wear it as is. So what I decided to do is add a strap across the back to help hold up the sleeves. This is a slight modification from my plan, but function over design, people. I didn't film this, but I also cropped the sleeves and cinched them in with an elastic. And then finally, with the sleeves done, I finished top stitching and cleaned up the sleeve holes. And now I think we're ready for the final look. For the cardigan, I picked up some silky cord and pearl buttons from my craft store. I was a bit concerned about these buttons as they had a lot of depth, but I learned if you sew the button down tightly, they won't flop around. Here's the cardigan. I marked with a safety pin where I wanted the first button to start. Also, side note, there are buttons on the inside of this cardigan, but no buttonholes anywhere. Does anyone know why this is? Okay, back to the buttons. I sewed the first one on, then marked about 1.5 inches apart for the next buttons and repeated. Then for the button loops, I cut out strands and secured them like this. Then I placed them down and sewed them. And here's the final look. Thank you so much for watching. I'm really proud of both of these tops. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it, and see you in the next video.